I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. Moni Stat is here, but first, do you want to see me go off? Because I think you want to see me go off.
Oh.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be Very Delta.
I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and YouTube talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get Very Delta. Very Delta is for new friends who are silver and old friends who are gold. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta. Oh my God, I have no problem with the people there. It's not a read on people and it's not a read on customer service. Okay. Aldi is a supermarket, a grocery store, not a convenience store. It is a full-on grocery store. But what I don't understand about Aldi is, why is there Aldi? Like first of all, this is not a complaint about customer service. This is not a complaint about anybody who works there. This is not any of that. I didn't have a bad experience with an interaction with anyone at Aldi. But this was my first time going to Aldi. And the only reason I was stopping in was because I was in a shopping center and I thought to myself, I need distilled water, not spring water, not volcanic water, not mountain water. I needed distilled water. And so I thought, well, I'll just go into this store. Everyone talks about Aldi. You have to go to Aldi. Go to Aldi. Oh my gosh, the deals at Aldi. And I thought, well, I mean, it's a grocery store. It's going to have water, right? Walking in, the first thing that happens is I want to grab a shopping cart. I go to grab the shopping cart. You can't use a shopping cart at Aldi unless you have a coin purse, because you have to put 25 cents in order to take the cart out. I have never heard. Now I know that there are a lot of people that abuse those shopping carts, that they get knocked over. There are people who are houseless, who need them to move their possessions around, and they don't have another option. And I know that, replacing these carts are expensive, but who is carrying around? I thought we were in a coin shortage. Do you remember that, when everyone was like, it's a coin shortage, we're rationing the coins, we're not going to be printing up any more coins. And then during the pandemic, it was like, we want to reduce touching. We don't want to touch anything. We don't want money to transfer hands. We only want to use a credit card or a debit card or Venmo or Apple Pay. Then why would I have a quarter? Where would a quarter be on my person? What I fully have space and hold the space for people who have a gorgeous coin purse. How pretty is a coin purse? But it's 2023. Not everyone is like, I'm not carrying a coin purse anywhere. I'm just not. I have like a jar of coins at home. I think there are coins in the like ashtray space. I don't even know if we're allowed to say ashtray, if ashtrays are a thing in a car, but there's a space where an ashtray would have gone in my car. And it's just a little alcove. And I think there's coins in there. But when I got to the store, I didn't think to myself like, maybe I should run to the car and go see if there's a quarter in there. So I bypassed that shopping cart. Now you're probably saying to yourself, did you need a shopping cart for one bottle of distilled water? Well, I don't know if that's all I was going to buy, because then when I was walking in, I thought, I feel like I need to get potato bread. So I thought maybe they'll have potato bread there. And they did. And some of this stuff looked like kind of good deals. But here's the thing you have to know about Aldi. There's no name brands. They only have their brand of thing. When I walk into that store and I saw what was there, by the way, no distilled water. Okay. There was spring water. There was purified water, but there was like 6 packs of them or whatever. This place reminded me of, I'm going to tell you what Aldi is. Aldi is if they rebooted The Outer Limits TV show or Tales from the Dark Side or The Unknown or any of these kinds of shows, and they set an episode in like a post-apocalyptic grocery store. The people walking around, like, it's not like I had like a rude interaction, but I felt like the people walking around were like, potato bread. Like, it was almost like Neanderthal. Like, there was like something. It was, again, I'm not like saying that the people were fucked up or they were doing anything wrong. They just felt like they were sort of lost in this void that was like supposed to be a grocery store. Sometimes I do a drag show and the audience will be like, I don't know what they're there for sometimes. I'm like, you obviously are not here to see anyone in specific. You're not celebrating anything, but you paid to be here, and you're just they're just like this, like, huh? What? Don't look. Like, and I think to myself, this reminds me, because I've done it before, this reminds me of when you hire people as a seat filler. They don't really do anything. They just have to kind of be there to occupy the space. And that's what happens at Aldi. I feel like Aldi is, for an episode of Outer Limits, it's post-apocalyptic. The people shopping in there are seat fillers. They did have potato bread. They did not have distilled water at a grocery store. I even went over to the baby section thinking, well, maybe they have distilled water because people have babies still. And, they might need that to clean, I don't know, bottles or contraptions that clean bottles or breasts or something. There was none there. I mean, it was like there were things on the shelves, but like if you go to Aldi and you want butter, this is the butter. Like, here's the butter. It's not like, ooh, olive oil and sea salt butter. Oh, Carb Smart butter. Oh, this kind of butter. Oh, there was none of that. It was like, here's your butter. Like, it was very like, more, sir. Like, oh, cheese. Oh, okay, well, here's one cheese. Let's walk away. One kind of green olive. How is that fun? I'm confused. Like, it was with purpose. It was with intention. It was with reason, but there was no pizzazz. There was no fun. There was no like, oh my God, Better Cheddar's now has mozzarella. I've got to try it. There was not like, this is on special and then this is regular. There was none of that. It was so sterile. Again, nothing against the people that work there. Nothing. I don't know their policies. I don't know any of the only policy I know is that I needed a quarter to get a shopping cart. I'm glad I didn't waste my quarter because I wasn't going to buy anything in there if I didn't come across anything. But there's no comparison there. You're not walking in going, oh, this one or this one. Well, this is 6 ounces. Nope. Here you go. Here's your cottage cheese. Slam the door. Next. And it's like I almost feel like that, like they might as well put everything behind something so that when you try to grab it, it like slams your hands in. That's how it was. Aldi. It's a grocery store, but you have no options. Have you ever heard of such a place? Bring your quarters to Aldi or you do not get a shopping cart or a buggy. Some people call it a buggy. Don't bring, you got to bring your coin purse. You got to bring a little coin purse like this. And you got to open it up. Oh, how much is that? Oh, 25 cents. Can I get that cart I've got 2 bits. Okay. And then you snap it and you put it back in your handbag and then you push your cart along and hi, I'll have 1 loaf of potato bread. Thank you. And then you go over here. Oh, where are the leeks? Okay, well, you have this kind here. Like, it boggles my mind. Like, there's nothing. You can have there's no 2 brands. This is the brand. I mean, you know what? Maybe it's set up for people who, it's just easier for them to have the option taken away. You know what I mean? Like, for the people who don't like Cheesecake Factory. If you like Cheesecake Factory, you like options, right? If you like Cheesecake Factory, I'm going to say you're lying to yourself if you simultaneously like Cheesecake Factory and Aldi. You couldn't. How could you? How could you like going to a place that didn't give you options? Cheesecake Factory gives you options, unlimited options. Aldi's trying to control us. Aldi is like the man. No choices, no options, no distilled water as well. Like that's actually rude. Like that's not even, you don't even have the basics. You know what? I'm going to go back there I should go on a very Delta field trip to Aldi and see what things I could get in there that are the Aldi brand, and then what I could get at, like, I don't know, whatever grocery store is in your area, Safeway, Pavilions, Vons, Stater Brothers, IGA, or whatever grocery store you go to. I want to see, you know what I mean? Because listen, I'm also one of these people that I will go to a grocery store and I will buy $250 worth of groceries. I'll go buy, oh, we need Activia. Oh my gosh, if I'm going to get Activia, I might as well get Dan and Light and Fit because I love the banana cream one, right? And I'll get that and I'll say, oh, you know what? I'm going to start making myself protein coffees. Let me get a 4-pack of these. I'm just going to start simple and I'll get that. And then I'll say like, oh, should I make chili tonight? And then I'll get that and I'll get all that stuff. And as soon as I'm done, I'll put all the groceries in the car and I'm like, so where are we going to eat for dinner? Like, and all the groceries go bad. What a waste. Maybe I should love Aldi. Like maybe it's just Aldi's for just going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you go to Aldi. Maybe Aldi is set up for the people who don't want the options. Maybe they're just going through the motions and they're like, I need 1 pound of hamburger meat. Well, I don't even know. Maybe they don't have 70-30, 80-20, 97-3. Maybe they don't have that. Maybe they do. Whatever it is, it's Aldi brand cows. That's what you're getting at Aldi. Bring your quarters. I'm confused as to how a company is like, we have a coin shortage. And what is 25 cents going to do? How's that going to save the basket? I guess it just deters people, right? It's kind of like loss prevention at a store. When you walk into a store and you see that the security is not doing a fucking thing. And it's really just the visual of them being there. They're not going to do anything. They can't do anything. And I don't blame them. I mean, I'm not going to lose my life because somebody wants to steal a Michael Kors bag from Ross. Bye. Take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is like, loss prevention personally, like the visual element in the store is not really that's just there obviously to deter something. It's not really to stop anything. It's just for people to go, let me second guess whether or not I should steal the Jessica Simpson pumps. Do you ever go to Ross and you hear that buzzing, that bzz, like it's a new thing. It happens frequently. It's because they're the alarms on the stuff that people are going to steal. I've always thought, like, what if they leave an alarm on? Because back in the day, it used to be if you had an alarm left on your thing and they didn't take it off and you tried to take it off, it would squirt ink on you. And now I always think, what if because I've bought stuff and they accidentally leave it on and maybe I'm out of town and I'm like, what am I going to do? I wanted to wear this while I was out of town. Like, I think it was a sweater or something. And I didn't bring a second sweater. And I was in Utah and I was like, whatever, get this. And there was the alarm. I didn't want to go back. And I thought, how do I get this off? Somebody said you can get them off with ice. You freeze it or something. And it freezes the ink so it doesn't squirt on you. I don't think they have the ink ones anymore though. But, everything's got a big bungee cord on it. And stop stealing. That's the thing. Stop stealing shopping carts so Aldi doesn't have to charge you 25 cents. Stop stealing purses. I mean, if you do see people stealing food, no, you didn't. That's the thing. You know what I mean? That's for real. Like, if you see, but people, come on. A purse, I don't know. And then I say that, but then I think, what if they're selling it because they're trying to buy baby formula or something? I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt because, the world is fucked up and people are fucking hungry. But I'm sorry, I don't have a coin purse. Like, I don't have a coin purse with me. If you're standing outside of a store and you're selling candy and I don't have any cash with me, I feel really bad. That's why sometimes when I cash my tips in, I try to keep $20 in ones with me at all times, just in case I walk out of a store and there's somebody selling candy. Because I remember what it was like selling candy as a kid or even as an adult. People are doing that too. I know they go to 99-cent store, buy that candy and they sell it for $4 and they're trying to make money, but that's a business. These people have a business head about them. Do you want to see me take a break? I think you want to see me take a break. She's an antifungal, and you can use her while you're exercising. It's Moni Stat.
Hi, Delta.
Hi.
Oh my
I
God.
say Moni Stat. Some people would go Monistat.
I don't know.
What do you like?
Money.
That's what I say.
I like money too.
Yeah.
I like money. Money's good.
You like money, money, the money, money.
Just call me.
How do you become Monistat?
How do I become Monistat? Well, you do a lot of cocaine one night, and on your way home, you watch, get some KFC first, and then you get home, watch The Nanny on Lifetime because it was on reruns, and there's a commercial for Monistat,
Okay.
and you go Cher, Madonna, RuPaul, Monistat.
That's two though. Oh, but it's one word.
It's one word.
Right, but we separate it.
Yeah, now we separate it for copyright reasons. I don't
And-
want to get sued, bitch.
Right. Right.
But like back then, it was like one word.
Yeah, it was one word.
Yeah.
Have you ever used that product?
Yeah,
You have.
it's really good primer. It's silicone primer.
Right. I've heard that from people that you can use that. What was the other thing people used
Preparation H.
Yeah.
Yeah. For hemorrhoids.
to use? Uh-huh.
For undulating hemorrhoids.
Do you still use that, or do you like use other primers?
I don't
as
I don't really like to use primer anymore.
No?
Moisture, like I guess I went back to basics.
Uh-huh.
Good old moisturizer, just like back in the day.
Right.
You know, just a clean shaven face moisturizer, and then your spackle.
Right. Everyone knows you, obviously, as a direct connection to San Francisco because you spent the majority of your life there, but you're not originally from San Francisco.
No, I'm not. I'm from a little tiny island called Guam,
Right.
in the middle of the Pacifics,
Uh-huh.
Pacific Ocean.
And what happens in Guam?
Nothing happens in Guam but sex and type 2 diabetes.
Well, there's a military base there, isn't there?
Oh, honey, there's lots of military men. Yeah. I wouldn't skirt the issue because I've had my fair share of military men.
Uh-huh. Do you have a
Uh,
preference for military men?
I
I know what your preference is, but you
Yeah.
can tell everyone what your preference is.
I used to. Like, back when I was younger, and I love a good closet case.
Mm-hmm.
But no, not so much. On Guam, there is a Air Force base because we are the last line of defense in the Pacific Ocean
Mm-hmm.
towards that side where China and Russia and North Korea is at. That's where they station a lot of the warships, that the airplane carriers
Mm-hmm.
that have the missiles. So there's the large Navy presence, there's a large Marine presence, there's a large Air Force presence.
Is there a large drag presence?
Honestly, when I was younger, all the drag queens were basically trans women.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really see a lot of kind of drag, like, as we like to term it now, male to female cross-dresser pantomiming for dollar bills.
Right.
It was really like passing, trans, daytime passing, fish kind of fantasy.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I like it. And where do you fit in there?
I fit in the horror side of things.
The horror side? Horror or whore?
The horror.
Oh, I thought you said horror. because-
Horror too.
Right.
Yeah.
You were asking me earlier, you're like, why is there pumpkins here? Halloween's over.
I know.
But these are gourds.
Hi, gourds.
Do you have a favorite? What kind of gourd is your favorite?
None of that.
None of these?
Girl.
You don't like the shape of this one?
Girl pastels. Ew.
Why don't you like pastels?
Pastels are like for boring people.
You're wearing pastel right now. Look at yourself.
Whatever. Suck my dick.
Do you say salmon or salmon?
I say salmon.
Salmon?
Salmon.
Why do you say salmon? Because there's an L in it.
Why are you wearing a fucking crocodile, bitch?
Wait, why are we friends?
Because we talk a lot of shit to each other.
We do.
We do talk
We
a lot of shit to each other.
Yeah, I think I actually do have people, and you do too.
Yeah.
They're like, "What? You seem like unlikely people to be friends."
Right.
And I'm like, no, it's very likely. Like, it explains itself if you just know, because I feel like all of my friends are Very similar
Uh-huh.
because we're observationalists,
Yeah.
right? Like we just, and I know that's who you are.
I mean, I think to become a good artist, you have to know your environment and know your surroundings, but you need to watch everything that's around you too.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. That's what you do really well. I've seen you pick out like the tiniest things. And I'm just like, oh shit, I didn't even see that. That's wow.
But the tough part is that goes into like my overthinking everything. So then I'll
Yeah.
get stuck on that one thing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I again, hold the space for so many different views, especially as I get older.
Uh-huh.
And, I think it's great that we're in a time and space where people talk about this idea of like a spectrum. And people, once upon a time would think that that's an insult to say to someone. And it's not. It's a recognition that we all learn differently. We all grow differently. And once you can recognize that and say, we are all somewhere in this space. You know what I mean? And as we're moving around, we like land on someone and we're like, we gel. You know what I mean? And I think once we recognize that, it's perfect.
I mean, I'd love to land on the spectrum right now.
You like to land in the gel. What is this jacket that you're wearing? Tell me what this jacket is.
Jacket?
Mm-hmm. Did you do this?
Hell no, I can't sew this well.
But you embellish everything.
I do. I love a good embellishment. I mean, like that's another part of like the drag queen creativity.
Right.
In me, it's like I gotta have a rhinestone on something. I gotta have 10,000. Like why have just one piece of jewelry? Like you have like all the fucking bracelets in the world.
Yeah, you just get into
and
a
that's
mood.
drag to me.
You get into a mood, right?
Yeah, and it's amazing. It just heightens everything. It's elevated. As simple as it is, it's elevated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are not afraid to go to a grocery store and drag. We know this. I mean, people have seen videos of that.
Oh yes.
And you're something I admire about you is you are this person who wakes up and you're like, today I need to wear a fur coat. Today I need to wear is about earrings. Like, and you'll do it because you do it for you, right?
I do things that make me happy.
Right.
And I do things. I mean, we live in such a fucking hostile world now.
Right.
And any little thing that can bring joy. I mean, I can't, like I'm not a Marie Kondo person. I can't clean. I'm a hoarder, much like every other drag queen in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So the things I hoard, I want to wear.
Right.
I want to wear everything all at once.
Right.
It makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really what drag is to me. It's like the fearlessness to go out into the world and present yourself of how you really feel.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what gender you identify as, no matter what spectrum of the world you're in,
Right.
It's for me. It's like if you feel powerful walking out of the house in 7-inch stiletto heels and a yak coat and gigantic bug-eyed sunglasses, that's drag.
Right.
That's fierce.
Right. And you, I mean, you are, as we say, under the queer umbrella, the whole alphabet. But you were raised by two lesbian parents.
Yes.
Your drag mother is Margaret Cho.
Yeah.
You like lived through so much experience in San Francisco, in the Castro, been to all of these bars. Opened up many of them, shut them all down. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And this is not blowing smoke. These are facts. I mean, these
Yeah.
are we see this documented.
Yeah.
And you are really just a person who lays low about it. And you're like, I did that, and I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying you're always ready for the next thing. You really are.
I think as queer people, we definitely need to own who we were.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's what makes us powerful. I'm not afraid to talk about having sex in drag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid to talk about having sex out of drag. It's just we need to own what we are and who we are because it's authentic. That's authentic for me.
Sure.
Not so much this artifice of like, oh, I have the designer making me, all these clothes to go on this game show.
Yeah.
That's not authentic.
Right.
Authentic is the real people. We come from an era, you and I, and you also understand this. It's like we come from an era of drag where we didn't have social media. where we really had to grind.
Yeah.
You know, where we really had to work our asses off, and things were not as documented as they are now.
Right. Thank God.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very fortunate to have started drag at a time in San Francisco where things were slowly coming to an end. But it was a good tail end of the party.
Yeah.
It was an amazing party.
And you still make time to go back to San Francisco.
I do.
Yeah.
I love going back home. San Francisco will always be my spiritual home.
Right.
I love going home. I get my strength from San Francisco. I'm a proud product of the San Francisco drag scene. You know, the enfant terrible of the San Francisco drag scene for a long time. I wasn't shy about causing a lot of trouble and doing a lot of damage. But I think as a queen, you have to go through that a little bit.
Living in San Francisco, doing drag in San Francisco, there's something that I've always wanted to know, and that is, what is the trick to going places when the streets are like this?
Oh.
But then you wear the shoes that you wear. And I mean, this is like a signature shoe for you.
Yeah.
This style you're not afraid of it. Don't you have you ever fallen down?
No.
How not? I mean, your legs are pure muscle, I will say. You can catch these gams.
That's what happens when you live in a city with 10,000 hills.
Right.
Your legs get used to it.
They just do. And you just have balance.
You just have balance. I also used to skateboard.
Oh, that could be. Have you ever skateboarded in heels?
Yes, on stage.
Oh my God. What's wrong with you?
Alcohol and cocaine.
You don't do all that anymore.
No,
not as much.
these days, I just turned 40. And after the last couple of years we've had, especially the last couple of months, and it's just been like, well, let me simmer down on the things that I used to do. Loss has been such a big part of the last few years.
Right.
It's been a recurring theme for so many of us, even until now, that for me, I would rather honor the people, the legacy of the people who I've lost, by trying to stay alive a little bit longer, just so I could spread their message a little bit more.
Wow. Yeah.
So, quit destroying my body. And
it's already ruined, though.
Yeah, my hole's ruined.
Yeah, it's been ruined.
Oh, yeah.
It's been ruined.
Stinky Russell.
Stinky Russell? Why did you have to go and ruin everything that was good? Why would you do that? Let's take a break. We are back with Moni Stat. Do you ever talk to yourself in the mirror?
Always.
Really? What do you say?
Depends on the day. Today, when I got up this morning, I was like, hurry the fuck up. Get ready.
You get ready pretty fast, no?
I do. You know what? I've learned how to get ready really fast in LA. Because of like brunch, when I used to do all those brunches every weekend at Hamburger Mary's. Or like when our friend Jules or Psychedella would literally call me an hour or like hour and a half before a show. Can you get down here? Somebody
and you
called
got to do it.
And I did it. Yeah.
I was thinking about, again, we're living in a different world. It is what it is. We're not trying to hurt anyone out there. But there's just words. You tell us about Tranny Shack. Oh, Tranny Shack is a thing. It was a force.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start crying. Like, this is such a weird kind of thing for me to talk about. It was a big, formidable part of my life and my early drag. I'm sure we all know Heklina passed away earlier this year. And it affected so many people. I came into Tranny Shack. I'm sorry. I'm not being, it's not a pejorative. I'm not trying to make fun of the word. That's just what the club is called.
Right.
And I'm not trying to dismiss anybody's feelings towards it, but it was called Tranny Shack. It was every Tuesday night at the Stud, and it ran for about 13 years. It started in 1996. Heklina had started it with Pippi Lovestocking, and a bunch of their friends got together and performed on top of beer crates and plywood. I mean, as we all did back in the day. I entered the Tranny Shack scene at around 2000. Well, I was an audience member. 2003, 2004 is when I got on stage and started actually performing there. I did a competition called Star Search and used what little I knew of drag and performance from what I saw. I was getting raped by a priest who was a lesbian. You know, it was kind of a commentary on church goings on. And and I lost, and but Heklina had invited me back week after week to do the Tuesday night show. We got paid when I first started it was like $30 and 2 drink tickets. Towards the end it got to be like what, $60 I think.
That's more than a lot of the gigs now pay. I mean, shop yourself around LA.
Well, I mean, truthfully though, like we would spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Right.
Because what Heklina and the audience wanted was a fully conceptualized number. And it took me a while to comprehend what a fully conceptualized number was, because I'm what you call an S&M, stand and model.
Okay.
You know, you just deliver a good lip sync,
Right.
perform your brains out, but like these queens were pulling out all the stops. There were props, visuals, there was videos every Tuesday. I was thankful for that. I'm thankful for that experience. Heklina asked me to come back every Tuesday. And she kind of became my mentor in a lot of ways. I wouldn't say my drag mother, because she's not the warmest, nor was she the kindest a lot of the times. Her way of showing love and affection is, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna teach you how to do it.
Wow.
So you can do it too. So she would take me around, and flyering all the poles in the Castro. We would flyer posters for every Tranny Shack. It was my 21st birthday, I think. I hosted my first Tranny Shack, which was a big deal at the time, because really you had to be like some sort of like drag establishment to be able to host one of those, co-host with her.
Right.
She just won't let anybody do it. So I was like, oh, I got to do this. And she opened a lot of doors for me. I only found out later on that she had been calling other club promoters to hire me to host their nights.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, when I found that out, I was kind of shocked. I was like, whoa, she was doing this. She opened a lot of doors. She took me with her we did Tranny Shack Seattle twice, I think, together. We did Tranny Shack Hawaii. And then Tranny Shack London. But I was so young.
Right.
I don't regret a lot of things. I was the baby. I was literally everybody else was in their 30s, 40s. I was like 21. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And of course, being in your 20s, you are the Miss Thing, honey. You are the only bitch in the world.
Well, especially when you get that seal of approval of people that you admire.
Yes,
and
and
they believe
it
in
kind of
you.
got to my head. I'm not going to lie. It does that. It catapulted me into hosting nightclubs that were like, everybody was so shocked, because who is this young bitch who just basically started doing drag and is now hosting Fag Fridays, which is another legendary San Francisco nightclub, The Crib, another, and then I was doing Gay Pride main stage. I was doing the Asian stage. Out of nowhere, like I just shot up like a comet, and I have to thank Heklina for that. Because if it wasn't really for her, like none of these doors would have opened for me.
Yeah.
And, and like even up to the very end, we were still talking, because you were doing I'm Not Gonna Be Ignored, Dan.
Mhm.
That's one of her favorite movies. And so the Friday before she passed, the giant signs around Hollywood where it says, I'm not gonna be ignored, Dan. Like it was a ad for the show, I
Right.
think. I was texting her and I was like, oh look, bitch, your stupid movie's on.
Mhm.
And I thought it was an April Fool's joke that she passed away. And so when I confirmed it, I was like, oh, I had to process it because it's like I'm losing a parent all over again.
Right.
An adult, like she was kind of like a parent in an adult life. Like I had meals with her. I stayed over at her house in Palm Springs. We talk constantly. And now when I see something I know that would make her laugh, I'm still like, oh, I should text this to Heklina, and now I have no one to text.
Right.
So
It's sad. You hit on something really, really important, and it's definitely in the drag world for sure. And that is when we say someone will say, "Oh, who's your drag mother?"
Yeah.
It's hard to sometimes for some of us define just one person,
Right.
because we have really strong families, and they're sort of like mothers, aunties, uncles, for different things.
Yeah.
So, you might have somebody that I know we don't use the term anymore, but Mayhem used to what's the word that I'm looking for? Just kindly or in a way she would refer to me as, "Oh, Delta's my fish mother," she would say. And what she would mean, and it meant the world to me because I knew what she meant by that, is that we connected in a way where she was like, "I watch the things that you do that I think are refined are the things that I apply to this." And of course, I'm not her mother. We are contemporaries, but I started doing drag a little bit before she did, and so she started to see that, and so she would say those things. The same way with Raja. I tell people all the time, like, of course, Raja's my dear friend, but in many ways, she's like a mother to me.
Right.
The same way Mama was a mother to me. The same way when I see someone like Heklina, who provided me opportunities, and I was all the way down here. I have no connection to San Francisco as a core member of that community. But what I learned from Heklina was this professionalism, because she treated me like I was an absolute star.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she kissed my ass. She made sure I'm going to have a ride ready for you.
Right.
And you tell me when you're ready to
Right.
go, and you make sure that check was deposited, and you make sure. And so she made me realize that somebody of power is letting me know you're powerful too.
Yeah.
Don't you lose that. And so she left us with this, right? She left us with these things to show other people.
Yeah.
It's such a weird year. We've lost so many different people, but that was crushing the reverberation went like across the world, actually, because people know Heklina across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's made a name for herself, and I will die on this hill. Heklina is one of the best MCs ever, 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 that you will hear, that you will listen to. Genius, quick wit, like the comebacks. Like my favorite things to honestly watch in drag is either Heklina and Peaches Christ bantering,
Right.
or Heklina and Lady Bunny bantering, because there's nothing like it's like a match of the wits,
Right.
and you can learn so much from it as a queen.
You can. And there's a feeling that you get when you watch people who have no problem pointing something out at someone because they know they have the other four fingers pointing back at themselves. They know goddamn well that they are laughing with you, not laughing at you. Yeah, I love that.
And that's what true friendship is. And I think that is also why, like, you're kind of like a mother to me. When I moved to LA, like, you were one of the few people, like, literally, with the first day I moved to LA, you got me your gig at Dreamgirls as a guest spot.
Yeah.
And I will forever be thankful for that. Like, and you have helped me along the way, and you have shown me things and did things for me, that not you won't do for other people.
I appreciate that. I mean, I think just, you invest in the people that are good at what they do. I think before we go to break, I feel like I always say in order for drag to be your profession, it has to be your passion first.
Yes.
So it has to be your art, and then that art can be honed into a profession,
Right.
right? And I feel like the same. I book people in shows that I think, oh, they're really great. People are gonna like them. Maybe I don't not their friend personally.
Yeah.
Maybe I can become their friend, but then. So it becomes difficult when you do book people and then people are like, oh, they only book their friends. And it's like, no, it just happens that their friends are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's true. Let's take a break. We are back. This, Moni, is, of course, the part of the show where we open letters.
Yay, letter time, letter time.
They don't know who's here.
Okay.
The first letter comes in this bag. By the way, if you want to send a letter, you can send it to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can send questions
Is
about...
it scented?
Not yet, but what's in the bag?
I always spray my letters, especially if I'm writing it out. Like when
You do. I do that too. I like that.
Yeah.
Can I open this bag? Okay, I'll read the letter. This bag says Cassandra on it.
Cassandra?
Do we say Cassandra or Cassandra?
Uh,
I don't know. How would you say it if you just a default?
Cassandra.
I see you saying that.
Yeah.
I see you saying that. I think I base it on like Tanya Tucker because Tanya Tucker says her name is Tanya.
You know what I love? I love it when you say veggies.
Veggies? And people go, oh, I'll have some more veggies. What kind of veggies do you want in your
Oh my
salad? Ugh, I don't like that. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because some people, what if your mouth is made that way? You can't say it any other way.
Oh, wow.
My voice is fucked up. Anybody that's listening to this, I don't know why you listen. Honestly, I hate my own voice. And I think a lot of people that do what we do will hate certain things about themselves.
Yeah.
And there's other people that aren't even paying attention to it. You know what I
True.
mean? Like when I get dressed with something and I'm like, I really want to wear that, but I think that emphasizes this and it sends the message that, Nobody's even thinking that. The people who love you just want to love you.
I think it's because we're deranged lunatics half
We
the
are.
time.
This letter says, Hi, Delta. Please enjoy this pair of Brave Soul sequin boxer briefs from Gay Mart on Arenas Road, the premier gay shopping destination in Palm Springs. Best, Captain Lou. Well, let's see what's in there. That's what's in
Show
this bag.
us. Show and tell.
Show us.
Show us.
I hope they're a medium.
Oh.
Let's see.
Oh.
Look at that. Brave Soul.
Sniff it. Sniff it.
Oh, it's it's gonna be too big because it's a large.
Oh.
But also $5 sale price, sold as is. Have you ever bought underwear that were sold as is?
Oh my God.
There's nothing there.
I can't with you. Give it to Stinky Russell. Maybe he'll make it smell better.
This smells nothing like Russell. I'll tell you that right now.
At all.
And I can just imagine. I wonder what's wrong with the as is.
Wait, was that a question or what is that? It's just
It was a gift.
it was a gift.
A gift from a gift giver.
Oh.
Yeah.
Every time I watch your show, they have some sort of question.
Normally they do, but
They just want
I
to
don't know
give
how
you
this
a
one's in there.
gift.
I think it's an advertisement for Gay Mart in Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I think it is. And I don't want to speak out of school because I haven't been to that location in a
Okay.
long time, but I have been to other locations across the country that are like that, like standalone places that sell underwear and poppers and all kinds of fun stuff.
Fine.
And I'm here to tell you, while I do appreciate this gift and I will absolutely make sure that it gets to somebody who can feature this very, very well.
Can I see it?
I am
Throw
always
it.
let down. I am always let down by places like this that stop at an extra large. Isn't that a problem? That's our community, though.
It's kind of discriminatory to me.
It is. It is.
Because
And I'm not knocking this gift because I'm
no. It's a beautiful gift. I mean, look,
obviously it's a tucking panty because there's absolutely no room for
Sequins.
any penis or testicles. I don't know is the sequin lined or is what's happening? Or is it?
Oh, it is.
It is. That's nice. That's a tucking panty.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Anybody that has any extra, and again, I'm not saying male, female. See, that's how that goes.
There we go. We'll
It
just
can
see
be. It looks like a beret.
that.
It does. Have you ever been to France?
What?
Have you ever been to France?
Is
They
it
say
a beret?
beret.
I'm Berlin.
Uh-huh.
Emily in Paris.
Amélie.
I'm a-
Amélie. And Piali? I don't speak French. I mean, you probably
Girl.
don't know that, but
It has sequins I can put on my head.
I think it's a nice gift.
Yeah.
I think it is because I do believe there are people out there that give and I have no problem with this. Giving someone a gift and thinking, you know what, they might re-gift this.
Okay.
I think that's okay because you're now offering someone an opportunity. Because I have a drawer at home of things where I'm like, what if we miss something for someone and you just, a hostess gift, for instance.
Okay.
It's a smart, I don't know that I would give this as a hostess gift, but who knows? Maybe if you ever, maybe I should give that to you because you might wear that.
No.
Or you might take a lover and you might want to see them in that.
No.
Well, you could use it as a tip for a rent boy.
Yes, that's
Just like a little extra little gift.
Maybe a cum rag.
You could use it as that.
A cum
Yeah.
rag.
Make sure you're just wiping your hand, not anything else.
Or you know
because-
what? I could do a number where I could buy bottles of poppers
Mhm.
and soak it in
Mhm.
poppers and then put it in front of the fan and get the whole room high.
Wait, why do you think that's sold as is? There's nothing wrong with it. Is it maybe
There's no stains.
is
There's
it-
no stains.
Oh, you know what? Maybe there's something wrong in the waistband where it's written wrong. No? Brave
don't
soul. Those are
know.
the right letters.
It's from London.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think they're cute. I really do. I think they're adorable. All right. Thank you so much for that gift. We are going to make sure that it goes to a good use. Someone's going to love that. I appreciate the gesture. No one is so rich as to throw away a friend, and no one is so rich as to not say thank you when someone sends them a lovely gift.
Thank you,
That's
Brave
sold
Soul.
as is for $5 at Gaymart where they don't have proper sizing. I'm not saying you don't now. Maybe you do now. It's been a while since I've been to Palm Springs. Maybe they're inclusive. I don't know. They're always nice there.
I've
They're
never been.
No, they're always super nice. It's right there on Arenas.
Okay.
The staff is absolutely lovely. I went in there with someone. Can't remember who I went. It was years ago. I think somebody went in to buy swim trunks because we were staying in Palm Springs and they
Okay.
were like, I need some trunks. Didn't bring like at an Airbnb kind
Okay.
of thing. Dear Delta and esteemed guest, avid listener and follower of yours here from Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh.
Whenever I hear a word I particularly enjoy, I like to imagine it as a name for a baby. These include chartreuse, charcuterie, alimony, and most recently, minutia and ominous. Do you and your guest have any words you are particularly fond of that could be added to this list of potential baby names? Kindest regards, Eloise at the Plaza, a famed shopping mall here in Auckland.
I've been to Auckland.
I've never been.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Words that you like that could potentially be a person's name.
Wow.
People go off with names these days.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Like, you are the queen of tangents. Tangent is like a word that I'm into. Tangent and perpendicular. I don't know what it is about angles right now that I'm into. Geometry shit.
Okay.
Perpendicular.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, what about if your name was Tangentina, like Tangina?
Tangina.
I like the word tangerine.
Tangerine.
That would be a nice name. What's another name? Well, I like gourd.
Gourd.
Right.
Hi, Gorge.
Yeah, like we say, oh my gourd. I like gourd. I don't know that it would be a very good name. Do you ever notice, this is like, it's kind of with names, but I think it's with music too. I feel like somewhere between like 2000, mid 2000s to like now a little bit, there are like, why are so many singers suddenly, I'm not saying that they had a career and then they changed it, the trajectory. Trajectory is a word that could be a name.
Trajectory.
But I feel like there are people that are up and coming and they're young and they're like, they try to sound like they sing from like some old juke joint in the 30s. I don't think, but they don't speak that way. So I'm like, they try to
what do
sing-
you know? Old
Well, no,
Johnny?
they're like, and I'm like, why do you act like you're some old woman? Like, you don't sound like that.
You know what? But adding to that, some drag queens speak like Southern women all the time.
What is that? Let the Southern dolls speak like they're Southern.
We talk about this all the time.
And we can speak like we're from Southern California.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But we know we have friends who are queens And they love to get on that horn, and they think they're a black woman from the South.
Right. I'm like, it's okay just to talk like you.
Yeah, it's okay to speak like yourself.
Right.
Not like, hey, y'all, how you doing, y'all?
Yeah. Or like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think because I've heard it across the board. I mean, and it's not specific to like a region, but there are a lot of people that are like, well, I'm going to sound, well, you know, it also comes from, I think too, like people that believe that they, again, it's your thing. Everybody does their drag their way. It's just that my closest friends are the same in and out of drag. They don't create a character.
Right.
We have carte blanche to say more things when we're in drag because we just feel it a little bit more. But there are people that for them, they have to turn it off. And I'll hold the space for you to do what you need to do. Because if I want to be able to do it my way, you should be able to do it your way. Right, 100% agree. But I just do think it's a little bit weird when people are like I would never say to somebody, can you go put this pad back in Delta's bag? Like, no, it's my bag. Like, I don't, it's not separate.
Oh, they speak to themselves as the third person.
Well, they'll speak to somebody like, this cologne. Oh, no, this is not. This is Gabriel's cologne, but that one's Delta's.
That's just a different level of Delulu.
It's just, you know, and I get it. Maybe that's how maybe that's the way that they can, like, get through this life. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
so weird.
It's different. It's different. But it feels weird to me. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, bitch.
I know you did guest host on Very That back in the day.
Yeah.
And then you're here. I feel like we should do, if we ever go out and do something out in the streets, because I know you're not afraid of like wearing a full look. You should be like an official correspondent with me, right? Like,
that would be
fun. Like, we should go
that
somewhere.
That would be really fun.
And raise hell.
Yeah.
And raise hell. We should go have an expensive dinner. We were talking about how you go by yourself. You love to do that.
I love a good dinner because, again, life's too short. And, you know, thankfully, I have lovely parents who spoiled me rotten and taught me how to eat a good meal. And so I like to treat myself every now and then.
Yeah.
If I can afford it. Back in the day, before COVID, yes, bitch, we were making buckets of money.
Right.
Now it's like once in a blue moon that I'll go and have steak.
Yeah.
You know.
We're going to all turn to dust and just die.
Girl. The world is a fucking shithole dump.
Thank you all for listening and watching Very Delta. We come out every Monday. Please subscribe to Mom Podcast right here on the Mom Podcast YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode. And search for Very Delta on your favorite podcast apps. And also subscribe to Mom Plus for even more Very Delta. And when I say even more Very Delta, I'm saying like you really are going to get even more Very Delta. Content that other people are not going to get because you need to be gold, bitch. Are you gold? You can also send your questions to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork. Where are you on social media?
Oh, me? I was watching.
You were looking at the monitor. See? You were talking to yourself in the mirror.
Fuck my life. You can find me at Moni Stat on Instagram and X. On TikTok, I am at Her Shady Ship.
Yeah.
And I'm also on Facebook at Moni Stat. If we're not friends, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Right. Yeah. You have to.
You have to.
You can also follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Very Delta, because if you're not, you're really only getting half of the Delta. Join me next week right here. And until then, make sure you keep things Very Delta.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Yay.
This episode of Very Delta was brought to you by Orange Diamond, the official emoji of the Very Delta show.
To listen to Very Delta one day early and ad-free, sign up for Mom Plus at mompodcasts.plus. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work and produced by Mark Jacobs. Engineered by Margot Padilla and editing by Doug Robertson. Executive produced by Willem Belli, Alaska Thunderfuck, Big Dipper, and Joe Cilio.